Hey everybody, welcome to Buzzworthy Business, brought to you by Seaside Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Jesse Stakes, and today I have Mark MacDonald with Be Known for Something.
Really great to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us. So for our audience, for the people that don't know you and what you do, can you give them a little quick synopsis of what Be Known for Something is?
Well, Be Known for Something is really focusing on faith-based organizations. We also do a few businesses as well, but really we want to focus on everybody has a lot to say, but let's figure out what you should be known for in order to get somebody's engagement and audience's engagement.
No question. And I know that you and I were talking off camera, and there's a lot that has happened in the last few years, especially for faith-based organizations. They've brought a lot of their services remote. They have gone online. They have found out how to be virtual, to be on television for their folks, as well as offer in-person services. How has this impacted the people that you work with?
Man, I think it's impacted all of us, and ultimately the church. Many were resistant before COVID, just trying to figure out, so should we do online services? Should we even have anything online? Most churches, quite frankly, I mean, their website is quite lacking.
Yes.
And before,
well, it's a total different skill set.
Well, it really is. And oftentimes people think, well, all we have to do is we just have to offer a service online. And so during COVID, that accelerator that happened, it kind of forced a lot of churches to go online. And they probably didn't do it the best way. They just had to do it. So They just got online. So over the last 2 years, I think a lot of pastors have taken a look and said, so how can we do this better? Should we just ditch it like we didn't have it before and just go to in-person services? So a lot of pastors are just trying to figure this all out. And I think, even other businesses are trying to figure it out, where how do we create something online that works as good as what it's been doing in person?
Well, and I got to imagine it's even that much more important now to be known for something. Pardon the pun, but it's really important that when now you're almost becoming a content creator as much as you are a faith-based organization or even a different kind of a business. Now you have to be very intentional with what you're doing.
Well, it's interesting because when you're a content provider or a content creator, I think everybody looks and says, so what exactly, what type of content are you going to be delivering to me? And for people who have a different history with churches,
yes,
they have to, the church has to figure out, so how can I actually engage them to a point where they'll listen again? Because a lot of people have tuned out. Most of the statistics that I'm looking at, the demographics, about a third of a community really have no connection to a faith-based organization at all. And then another third have had a relationship but have decided not to have a relationship now. So you're only talking to about a third if you just become known for being a church.
Yes.
So you've got to figure out, so what is it that the audience is looking for? How do you become known for it? And then how do you actually control your messaging so that ultimately people will realize your messages that you're putting out online or in person or on social media? All of that has to kind of fall into what we call the thread.
So can you speak a little bit more on that? What is the thread?
Well, thread is a traditional brand positioning statement. So it's taking your mission, vision, and values and making sure that it works. Like, that's more of an internal message, and you need to convert that to an external message. So it's 3 to 5 words. It's something that is beneficial to the audience, actually needed by the audience, and you should be able to say it, and then people say, whoa, okay, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes.
Where if you say, I'm a pastor of a certain church, it's like, yeah, I don't need church.
Right.
And then the conversation ends right there.
Dead silence, an uncomfortable room.
Exactly. And that's where, you should be able to have something. We used to call it the elevator pitch back in the day.
Right.
And that was, a 30-second, description of what you actually do, so that someone says, yeah, give me your card. And now our attention spans have gotten even shorter, and the world's gotten so much louder.
We are officially goldfish.
Oh my goodness, I mean, we have a little bit better attention span. No, I think the goldfish has a little bit better attention span than the human. And what we need to realize is that because of the amount of noise, we all have this defense mechanism where we try to ignore anything that doesn't feel like it's relevant to me. So the moment you say something that's not relevant, then people just tune out. We need to figure out how we can stop talking before they stop listening. And that really is coming down with understanding the needs, concerns, and goals of your audience, and then trying to figure out, okay, so if I mention a solution to you, then they'll lean in just a little bit and want to engage. If not, you just really risk a lot of people just tuning out your message.
No question. And kind of along those lines, speaking about your message, you have something on the table here. It's your book.
Yes, Be Known for Something. I mean, I'm a little kid from East Coast Canada. I can't believe I get to do what I get to do. We just became American citizens about 6 months ago, so we're really excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I started really trying to figure out, so what do I write about? How do I put together a message that people will see it as something a little bit different? It's become an Amazon bestseller, which is just, again, mind-blowing for me, my English teachers from all of my past years. But it walks you through the process of figuring out who your audience is. How do you create a solution that they would be interested in? And then the last third of the book is how do you communicate that through websites, social media, email, through your print materials, and just really locking down what your brand is about, what you're known for, and then also what color palette you use, what font palette, and then controlling it. Like
yes.
That's the big thing, is that it's just hard to control.
Well, and your message is not just for churches, let's be clear. It's for all entrepreneurs and business owners.
Well, really, I mean, every person is known for something.
Yes.
The way that this all started, it goes back, wow, so here's a tangent. So I'm known as a singer back in East Coast Canada, and I became the funeral singer in my small community. I sang a lot at funerals, a lot of funerals that I didn't know the person at all.
Yes.
And what I was always overwhelmed by was how many people got up and stereotypically eulogized somebody and gave this broad stroke of what that person was known for. And I kept thinking, so what if we could actually figure out what we should be known for, so that we can control the message, so that when people stand up in our funerals at the end of our lives, they can all say the same thing. I knew him because of this, and just like the other person.
Yes.
And then that's when I was senior creative director for one of Eastern Canada's largest ad agencies, and I realized that's what we're doing with businesses. We're trying to figure out, so what should they be known for? And as throughout the years, as you know, our lives have gotten wildly crazy, and most times because of the internet, the amount of content that we have available to us, we have to control what we should be known for, so that people just don't Google it and
right.
then have dozens and dozens, thousands of different options, and then they have to just kind of choose, well, whoever Google puts first, that's what I'm going to go with.
Right. Mark, I feel like we could have this conversation all day long. If people want to learn more about you and be known for something, where can they find you?
Well, beknownforsomething.com.
Yes, sir.
And then also I'm on most of the social media channels under Mark Mac 1023 or Mark MacDonald.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you guys would like to learn more about us here at Buzz TV and Mark MacDonald, you can join us at jacksonvillebuzz.com. I'm your host, Jesse Stakes, and we'll catch you guys next time.